Hello, and welcome to this collective and timeless reading. This is E-Star Tarot, and today we're going to be doing a reading just to see what our ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels want to deliver for us delivered to us as a message today. Can't talk. And I brought in today a nice little totem I got today. It is a wolf totem. Yeah, I was really happy to get this one because there's actually two that I really also wanted, but at the time I only got the buffalo. And when I went back to this same store, they were all gone. And so I thought, oh no, I guess I should have got them then. But the lady was like, oh no, there's actually two left, and they were exactly the two that I wanted. And I just wanted to share that story because I think that's such a great example of how the things that we want, the things that we need, will be provided to us, you know? If we just have trust that things are going to work out, they'll work out. It was, I'll show you the other one that I got. It's right here, actually. Yeah, it's a dolphin. Dolphins mean a lot to me, so I was really happy to get this one as well. Yeah. And it's just so funny that out of all the ones that were left, it was the two, the dolphin and the wolf, that meant something to me that were there. So, you know, that's pretty special. It's a sign from the universe. They wanted me to have them. So they saved them there for me. And I also brought in this other crystal I have, this piece of howlite, which goes very well with our wolf, right? Wolf's howl, the moon, so here we go, howlite. This kind of looks like a moon too with the color. But yeah, maybe wolves will come into this reading somehow. I'm not sure how. I don't think I have any wolves on my cards, but maybe there'll be some connection there. Yeah, so we'll just see what the message is today. Oh, here we go. The Hierophant. Interesting. And it's, what's his name? Murray? Is it Murray? Yeah, Murray. I forget who this character, he's, is he sort of paranoid? Like he's, yeah, he's kind of that paranoid character. One sec. Sorry about that. The fan turned on. I usually remember to turn it off before I start, but you know, sometimes we forget. So yeah, we've got Murray as the Hierophant, and he's got two corn dogs there. Isn't that interesting? In the fair, in the background. We had a fair kind of come into the story for the last reading as well. And then with it, we have the Two of Scoops, which is the Two of Pentacles. I just find there's this 2 and 2, right? 2 corn dogs, 2 ice creams. It's just very interesting. Maybe I should get... I have a feeling what this is about, but let's just get a couple more cards here. Make sure we're not getting ahead of ourselves. But already I can see, okay, we got another 2. Another 2! 2 of spokes. Isn't that interesting? You got 2, 2, 2. I mean, this isn't a number 2, but there's the 2 corn dogs, right? Have you been seeing 2, 2, 2? That's an angel number. And honestly, at this moment, I can't really remember what it means. But I think it has something to do with duality. And coming together with others. Like you are looked after and you're getting help from others. I think, yeah, something about that. Because it's got 2 scoops or 2 pentacles, which is, you know, financial, right? It's usually almost like a fool or a jester character juggling 2 coins. And it's sort of about financial balance and understanding how to manage that. Sometimes it can indicate there's a change in the flow of finance, so we are learning to adapt to that, learning how to, you know, juggle our finances, literally. So having that with the 2 of spokes here, which is the 2 of cups, and you got 2 legs here, you know, they're riding the same bike, right? It's like you're learning how to You're getting financial aid. You're getting help. And you're almost like Murray here, where you're like, oh my God, I got 2 corn dogs. Like he's really like he is overjoyed. He's just like, look at all this abundance, man. Because there's more junk food in the foreground, right? So he's looking at even more. I think what this symbolizes is that your relationship with money is shifting. You're understanding that financial flow can happen in different ways. Specifically, abundance can flow in different ways. It's not always just numbers, right? Help can come in many different ways. And that feeling of being abundant, that feeling of feeling like we have so much, there's all more than enough, can come in many different ways. And sometimes that comes from other people. Other people can make us feel abundant. And sometimes it's, like we don't have to always struggle alone, right? And sometimes we get into a mode, like especially a survival mode, where we think we have to do it all and we have to always be on top of things. We can't ever make a mistake or spend on ourselves or splurge a little. We can't ever invest in something when there's a risk of no return. But that doesn't actually reflect how money flows, right? There's dips and there's peaks, right? It's like a wave. Yeah, actually, I think in the Two of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite, there's actually waves going like that in the background because he's on the beach and there's an ocean behind him. So, that's how financial flow is. You have to ride the waves. You can't always expect the ocean to be flat and steady. I know this is really difficult, especially if you grew up with a scarcity mindset or you grew up in a family that was very financially focused on, always pinching pennies, which, it can make sense in certain situations, but if you always carry that attitude about everything for all times, you miss out on a lot of opportunities, because sometimes certain opportunities only come along at a certain time, and you have to take a financial risk on them. And I see that with the Hierophant here. That's where you're learning. You're learning to unwind that mindset that was like, never take a financial risk, never splurge a little on yourself, never have fun with your money even. Like, it was always just like, pinch every penny and never let it it's like you're always just collecting money and never really enjoying it. Yeah. And maybe you're coming in contact with new people that are kind of showing you the way, showing you that it's okay to spend on the right things. Because sometimes we do have the money, but we're not spending it on the right things that we should, right? And different things can eat up our money, and we can just let that happen when, that money could be spent on ourselves in different ways. Especially like when you have an addiction, like to smoking or to drinking or to fast food. Even fast food's an addiction. It's funny how our money can be like just sucked up out of us. And it's not just the actual habit of doing it every day. It's like there's something spiritual going on there, right? Something spiritual isn't being addressed that makes us let that money leak out from our essence, right? I hope this is making sense. But it's like there was one time in my life where I was letting that happen, and it was such a drain. And I always thought it made me have a belief that it was hard to hold on to money. It was hard to keep money. I started having these like programs and beliefs that it's hard for me to make money. It's hard for me to keep money. It's hard to save money, blah, blah, blah. Like it just, and it's just having the thoughts can cause so many other problems too, right? Because then what you believe is what you receive, right? So it can cause a whole host of problems to do that, to think like that and to believe that. But when you start changing your habits, when you start changing your vibration, everything kind of cascades from there. Everything kind of acts like a domino. You know, when we start addressing, and a lot of it comes down to our thoughts and our heart, right? Because what is an addiction but filling a hole, filling a wound, right? With something else that doesn't really fix it, but soothes us in the moment. So it's funny that we talked about fast food too, because there's so much in this reading. But you know, like it really does drain your money. Like if you order food or you get it delivered, oh my gosh, that gets so expensive if you do that a lot. And I'm not telling you what to do. You obviously, your own life is your own discretion, but to your own discretion. But you know, there's somewhere that something can be eating up your money. And when it's not just about the habit, it's about what's behind the habit, right? Okay, I think I want to get some more cards here. They're saying take more of these cards, so I'm just going to go with it. I feel like we got enough, but and they're saying 3, so I guess we're going to get 3 cards here. The Knight of Spokes, which would be the Knight of Cups. Interesting. We got Steve Harrington here. A Knight of Cups, you know, is like a passionate lover in a way, or he's the lover of the knights in my mind. And the knights are all about action. So maybe you are taking action to learn your heart, to understand your heart, why it is you do the things you do. Maybe even this could be the help, you know? This could even be someone who's helping you understand your heart. Like it could even be someone as simple as like a counselor, or, you know, a really emotionally supportive friend. You know, but it could also be that aspect within you. Maybe you're calling upon that within yourself. Yeah, I think this might be you. And you got it under the Hierophant here. The Hierophant is all about, you know, understanding your truth, right? But also understanding new truths. Let me just see. I want to see if there's something different where we got Murray there. Because they always kind of weave the actual stories of the characters into the lessons. So sometimes there's something interesting there. Yeah, because Murray has unconventional beliefs. He's dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, justice, and truth. Yeah, it's very Hierophant. Encourages you to find your principles, to be a student of whatever belief system is most meaningful to you, and fully explore it. He wants you to get a look at what's behind the curtain before you make the next move. Yeah, because I think this is going back to the financial aspect, where you're sort of understanding things in a new light. I don't think we misinterpreted anything, but, you know, truths about the world, because that's what the Hierophant is. He's discovering principles. He's mastering his own principles and his own truth. He's discovering, you know, justice. And with the Knight of Cups here, I think that's you putting that into action with your own heart. Understanding how all of this relates together. Here we go. Try this again. One more. 8 of Scoops. Just the 8 of Pentacles. Investment. That's like someone who's working hard at something, right? Building up something. Look how many scoops they built up. Yeah, you stacked up your scoops. So this could even be you going into the future, right? You know, you started with 2 and now you have 8. So maybe it is showing you that you have the abundance that you're looking for. You are just figuring out how to master that. Because it's about mastery. It's about finding out how to get into that financial flow, into that abundance mindset for you, I think. And again, I think you're having help with that, because you're seeing how others can help you with that. Maybe just by being role models to you. You know, see how other people do it. Even ask other people too. Like, ask how they manage. You know, because lots of people, your community has tips for you. And if you don't have a community in your, everyday life, ask online. There's a digital community out there for, people who don't leave their house. Sometimes I'm one of those people. Today was one of those rare days where I actually go out and socialize, but, it doesn't always work out that way. 9 of Strands, which is the 9 of Wands. And we got the Demigorgon here. Uh-huh. Yeah. There's this negative energy behind you. And when I think behind, it's like it's behind you. It's in your past because you conquered it. Yeah. This could represent those habits that were keeping you stuck out of financial flow. What you're conquering. Yeah. Now, Demigorgon, if you haven't watched the show, it's a very scary, like, kind of demonish character. And he lives in the upside down. But when he appears, it's just like, it's the worst because he has this face that opens up like a flower and it's very scary. But yeah. I think you were able to face the shadow, though, of this. That frightening creature. Yeah. And this talks about it being like a mini boss. Because this isn't the full, I don't want to be too spoilery, but this isn't the full creature, right? It's just sort of like a minion. So when you defeat one of those, you get stronger, right? And it talks about leveling up. Yeah. So it's telling you to keep your head in the game. Because like when challenges come up, and you conquer them, you end up facing more challenges later because that's just kind of how life works, right? You get ready for the next challenge. But, the message ultimately is that you are conquering those challenges. You're getting stronger and stronger. And I see that with the 2 cups becoming the 2 scoops becoming the 8 scoops. The Hierophant becoming the Knight. Like all this says to me is like, you're getting better and better as you go. And if it's hard now, it's not going to, like if you're facing a little hurdle right now, like maybe you're having to bike up a hill right now and it's feeling really, really tough, you're going to get there. You're going to get to that point where it feels a lot more comfortable. You're going to reach the top of the hill and you'll be like, ah. And then you can ride levelly at the top of the hill. It's like, oh, this isn't so bad because it's coming from going up the hill. And then you get to go down the hill and it's like, woo! So that's kind of what's going on here. Like you're cresting the wave. Yeah, back to waves, right? And we got a lot of cups in here, right? Or sorry, no, this is the Knight of Spokes. I was thinking it was the Knight of... No, I had that right. Knight of Cups, yeah. Pentacles. We have a lot of pentacles in here. Pentacles and cups. I think because they're spokes and scoops, it's easy for me to confuse them. Yeah. And again, I always think the spokes should have been pentacles, but anyway. All right, so I think we're going to get a few more cards here. Yeah, we'll get a butterfly card. Been really using my butterfly cards a lot. I hope you don't mind, but they're very helpful sometimes with getting a specific answer. That was it. Okay. Emotions. There we go. That's big confirmation there, especially where we had the Knight of Cups in here with Steve. Steve's very passionate and emotional, right? And then you have the extra confirmation with emotions here. So, emotions might be running high, but I think this symbolizes you actually getting a handle on your emotions, because maybe you were like letting them control you, letting your emotions get away from you in a way that actually affected your financial situation. And I can relate to that. I know when, try to think of an example here. Like when you, for example, if you were a smoker, you know, when you get upset, that's when you want to go have a smoke, right? Or like when maybe you're an emotional eater, like maybe when something upsets you, you're like, I'm gonna go I don't want to cook now because I'm very upset. I'm gonna go eat this junky food, even if it makes me feel bad. Like, you know, all those habits come out when we're in distress, right? When our emotions get to this overwhelming place, and you shouldn't feel bad for that, because I think every person goes through that. Doesn't mean you're weak. Doesn't mean you're bad or anything like that. It's a very normal human reaction. But when it affects us in our financial state, it makes it hard to have stability, to have situations where we can feel more grounded. And that's not good for us. So that's the thing that needs to get addressed. So I think that's what's on the docket right now. That's what's coming up for you, is seeing how your emotions affect you and affect your habits especially. That's you figuring out your truth, figuring out the principles you're living your life by. It's like, how do I want to live every day? Do I want to get upset about things and then go have this dependency on this substance or this food or this, even this person? Because sometimes we can be addicted to people, right? People that are not good for us. You know, anything that's not good for us can be an attachment and an addiction, right? And they're saying I forgot a butterfly card, so we're going to put that aside for now and go back to butterflies. I guess I was ignoring them. One more butterfly. All right. Well, you know, that was pretty obvious. Motivation. Yeah, whatever you were doing, it was killing your motivation. And that's what's coming back to life for you. Yeah, because when we kick the bucket on those habits, I'm not sure why I say kick the bucket. But yeah, when we kick those habits out of our life that are draining us and draining our finances, which is, it's all connected together, right? It's all one thing, even though it seems like separate issues. Because you'll find when you fix one of them, everything else is affected, right? And sometimes it's not about breaking the habit. Sometimes, again, I think I already talked about this, but it's about fixing the thing behind the habit. So maybe that's what you're learning. That's what you're finally understanding is, oh, I don't have to quit smoking. I have to figure out why I want to smoke in the first place and address that. Then quitting will be easy. It's still difficult, but you know, it's a lot easier on us, right? Step out of your comfort zone. North Node. Yeah, because North Node's all about our destiny, right? And when you get out of your comfort, you know, it's funny because we were waiting on that butterfly card, or at least the guides were. And then as soon as it was out, this popped right out. You know, it's like everything has to happen in a certain order, right? And yeah, that's like your habits, right? Once you fix that first thing, the core thing, the next thing, which is like quitting the habit, flows, and then suddenly the financial abundance comes back because you're saving more every month. And then maybe now you have enough money to start this new thing that you've always wanted to do, and everything just keeps going like that. You know, it's like one good action can lead to many. But it's careful, or you have to be careful about what you pick, because sometimes we can beat our heads against that, oh, I gotta break this habit, but we haven't addressed the core issue behind that. Little things lead to big things, right? Little changes lead to big changes. And stepping out of your comfort zone, that can be about addressing those things that are really scary, which, you know, can be our emotions. The things we're trying to run away from, trying to hide from, trying to keep ourselves safe from. Yeah, it's, you know, there's no shame in it. Emotions can be like the wounds we have in our heart that we've, you know, when we're covering those up with a habit, you know, often it's because they're a great wound. You know, something that's really, you know, deeply hurt us. And there's no shame in it, you know. Everyone has to come to their moment when they're ready, right? You can't force these things. But if you're seeing this reading now, I think it's because it's time, right? And maybe you're already on your way. You don't even need to be told. This is just, because honestly, this is probably just confirming what you're already doing, right? You're already on that path. And you should be really proud, because it's not easy. We often have to go through a dark night of the soul to get through this. Yeah, courage. It takes courage to face ourselves. And look, it matches the purple there so well, doesn't it? Yeah. Archangel Ariel, be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. Your beliefs. Hierophant. Yeah. Take a stand for yourself. And that means standing up to yourself as well. If you're someone that's always keeping yourself stuck. And with the Two of Spokes here, maybe, this habit's connected to someone that you hang around. Maybe you have to stand up and say, I want to be different. Yeah. You should be proud that you're doing this, that you're taking on. This is a huge challenge. Changing ourselves is not easy. It's, it's a whole process. It's like the butterfly, you're metamorphosizing. But you're going to see immense benefit from it. I promise you that. Because, North Node, that's all about our destiny, right? And if you've been blocked from your destiny, from your life path, this is what's required. This is the thing that you need to do to move forward. And what's on the other side is the life you want to live, the life that's going to be good for you. I promise you that. Yeah, Three of Pentacles. So Three of Pentacles, it's about coming together with others. So, maybe because you're doing this, you're going to find yourself in situations where you're going to be able to work on things together with people more. Because maybe instead of doing this habit that hasn't been good for you, maybe you're going to take up something new in its place, because that's often how it works, right? Energy ends up in a new, like our energy will go into something new, right? And often it's more of what we wanted than the other thing, something better for us. The moon. The moon's often about hidden things and also related to emotions. Let's get some more cards here first before we go too deep. Yeah, what's going on here? Oh, reversed Three of Wands. What's hidden? Okay. Because we got Three of Pentacles here, and then we've got a reversed Three of Wands. This is interesting. And he's looking off at a ship. So it's almost like he didn't get to travel on the ship. I'm going to get one more card here just to clarify. Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking over to see if there was some particular cards that fell that had any significance. I'll pick up the one here that did catch my eye. It was the Eight of Wands. So things might be moving quickly here for you. I'm not going to put it down, but there is something there about that. Actually, where we have it with the Knight of Pentacles here, maybe it's about, this is a slow progress thing. Yeah, because maybe you want to set off on your journey right away. You want to move there fast. You want to get there fast. But you've got two upright pentacle cards here. And, I think it's telling you that this is a project that takes time. You have to work at it slowly. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It takes Sometimes it takes years. And, you know, all that's saying is be patient with yourself on this journey. And, you know, Three of Wands makes me think of like travel for some reason. But it's like it's delayed. So maybe you did want to travel somewhere, but things have to be delayed for a little bit. Because you have to work things out first. Yeah. And the thing about the Knight of Pentacles is it's slow action. He's the slowest card in of the knights, right? He's standing still. But the key about him is that he is stable. All progress he makes is permanent and stable and will last. It's not like the Knight of Swords who rushes into things and is almost too hasty. Or the Knight of Wands, which is almost like too much passion sometimes. And things can be reckless. The Knight of Pentacles is very stable. So you have a lot of financial stability coming in here. But it takes work in progress, right? We've got two of Pentacles, and then we got the Three of Pentacles, right? So things have to come together. And where you got the Moon here, the Moon can often be about emotions. It can be about your hidden enemies as well, but it can also reflect, you know, just like what's hidden from you, what's in the shadow, what's hidden in the Moon for you, which can represent your emotions. So, you know, take your time going through this slowly, because you can't get to the Three of Wands yet before you go through this process. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean like the thing you want isn't going to happen. It just means this has to happen first, right? Again, things have to happen in order. Things have to go a certain way in order to be stable, like the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, because you don't want to end up somewhere you don't actually want to be if you rush into it. And maybe Three of Pentacles could also be your guides, you know, represented here. They're trying to bring this together through you. They're actually building you a door, you know, a door of opportunity, a door to walk through and escape into a new life. But part of going through the door is you have to walk under the moon. You have to see the light of the moon. You have to, and the moon is all about reflection. You have to look into the mirror. You have to see yourself clearly and honestly. And you have that there with the Hierophant. So, you know, figure out your truths and your principles and what works for you. What kind of life do you want to live? What life can you make peace with? What works for you? And you have to do it thoroughly and truthfully and honestly before this can happen, before this can become upright and you set out on that journey, on that ship. Messed up the deck there. But you know, you're going to do it because I really feel that because the Knight of Pentacles is here. This is stable, solid change for something better. Maybe horses mean something for you. I think horses are a great symbol of freedom, of change, of liberation. So yeah, you're going to be liberated financially. You're going to feel that in your heart. But you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to get there on your own terms as well. Because, you know, you forcing yourself into something that doesn't fit you, that's not going to work, right? Doesn't suit your needs. But there's help there for you, right? You got Three of Pentacles, Two of Spokes. There's aid. There's things available to you that can help you. So just keep using your resources. Keep using those things that are around you that can give you help and give you advice and keep you stable. Like sometimes, you know, like when we take away something, we usually have to replace it with something else. So, you know, if you, going back to the smoking example, if you're smoking, you know, you need to replace that with a hobby or something that really makes you happy and makes you joyful just as much, right? Because you can't just, you know, take away something and leave yourself barren. It's like when you're trying to get healthy with food, for example. It's like you don't just take away the junk food, you replace it with tasty food that's also healthy. right? Or what is it they tell people? They tell people like, don't take away the food, just add in other food that's healthy. Yeah, that's what they say, I think. I'm not a nutritionist or like a health advisor, but you know, I read different things about what you're supposed to do, and I think that's good advice. You know, instead of like being like no treats, instead you just buy a lot of healthy treats. You know, buy yourself, spend the money you would have spent on that junk food on like a bunch of fruit or I don't know, whatever you like. That's a good healthy option for you. Because everybody's different, right? Some people fruit doesn't agree with them, or like, you know, I used to think, you know, there was one diet for everybody, you know, like vegetables were healthy for everybody, but you know, I think everybody has to eat what's right for them, ultimately. So I don't know, take that as you will. Use your intuition with what's healthy for you. Yeah. I think that's the end of the reading because I'm not getting much else here. So I hope this was helpful, and if you like the readings, you can subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment if this resonated. I'd like to hear about how the stories in people's lives resonate with the readings. It's really interesting. So yeah, and take care of yourself. Make sure that you're giving yourself all that you need emotionally, mentally, and physically, and things will work out. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care. Something interesting I just noticed as I was finishing up here. Look at that. They're howling at the moon. Just like he is. See that? And then we got the moon in our highlight there. I'm surprised I didn't see that right away, but you know, there it is. So yeah, maybe that's what the wolf totem is calling you to howl at the moon, which is to say maybe let your emotions out. Maybe express your emotions more. Yeah, because the wolf, it's all about, it's sort of like throat chakra, right? It's calling out. Maybe you need to actually scream it out even. I know that seems kind of extreme, but you know, sometimes people they yell out, they oops, sorry. They yell out, and they actually scream out the emotions that are trapped within, right? So, you know, that could be something that might be a bit helpful for you, you know? Maybe just express those emotions in some way, you know, like find a way to let it out. And that could be in a, you know, less of a extreme way, like screaming. Like maybe it could be something like singing, or singing to the moon. Maybe just expressing yourself more, like singing along to a song more. Yeah. You know, sometimes when we have habits that are draining us, it's actually because our creative aspect of ourselves is being suppressed, it's being pushed down. So you know, that could be something that might be helpful for you. So yeah, take that as you will. And yeah, just thought I'd add that in there in case you find that helpful. All right,